Shoo-up-a-dap, 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 ooh-wop, shoo-up-a-dap, shoo-up-a-dap.
Saturday night, the set glows gold. Black and white stories never get old. My feet tap out on the linoleum floor. I'm back in the room from years before. Ooh, the screen gets wide when the theme song's right. I'm 10 years old again and I don't want it to end. Steve Beverly's TV classics. Oh, Steve Beverly's TV classics. Steve Beverly's TV classic. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, those old school scenes got that sugar sweet gleam. I hear the crowd say hey, and the grown-up world fades away. Steve Beverly's TV classics. Oh, Steve Beverly's TV classics. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba, shoo-a-da, ba-ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da-doo-wop.
Hello again, West Tennessee, and welcome to Steve Beverly's TV Classics. Good to have you with us again here tonight on West Tennessee PBS. We love being part of the Saturday night lineup where we kick it off at 6 o'clock, followed by the Lawrence Welk Show, and then Wayne Gerald's Greatest Hits, and he has some immense ones. So enjoy the evening tonight because we've got a lot to bring to you. And we start out tonight with a show that became a legend because it started 6 months before the Ed Sullivan Show and almost surpassed him in the length that it was on the air. It lasted for 22 years and 9 months. And then it was abruptly canceled by CBS, and I'll tell you more about that as we go along this evening. But it was based on a radio show that had great success that was hosted and created by a man known as Major Bowes. And he brought together amateur talent from across the country that had a hankering to break into show business. And over the years, radio and television, there were a number of performers that, whether they won on Amateur Hour or not, they did have success. Pat Boone was a contestant on the Amateur Hour. Anne Margaret, appearing under her real name, Anne Margaret Olson, she was a singer on the Amateur Hour. And when it moved to television, actually, it was a short time before it came to television, Ted Mack, who was the right-hand man to Major Bowes, he took over at the time of Major Bowes' passing. And so when it moved to television in 1948, and it made the rounds of all four of the original networks in television, including Dumont, it became a show that people really looked forward to seeing, is this going to be a star of tomorrow? And it was often imitated. In fact, there was seemingly a lot of borrowing of the format between Amateur Hour and Arthur Godfrey's Talent Scouts, which was a big hit for CBS in the 1950s. But tonight we take you back to one from July 26, 1958. Amateur Hour was thought of for many people who only caught it in the 1960s as a Sunday afternoon show. But it had a long history in prime time until 1960. So this evening, sit back and see which one you would vote for on Ted Mack and the original Amateur Hour.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Doo-wop.
Stay tuned for Ted Mack and the original Amateur Hour. And here is your host, Ted Mack.
Thank you, Dwight, and welcome, friends. Well, the search for this year's International Amateur Champion is just about over. I'll tell you more about that a little later on in the show, but right now, To start the search for next year's champion, I'll spin the wheel of fortune for the 1,157th time. Round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. Opening the show tonight, we have 6 young high school students from Pella Memorial High School. They're going to take us back to the roaring 20s. I don't know how they know about such things, but here we go back to the days when a really lucky young fella had a raccoon coat, a Stutz Bearcat, and a girl who had it. They tell me they've made their own costumes, so let's look at them. They call themselves the Flappers. From Pella Memorial High School. You know, voting has been so hot and heavy for these past several weeks. I think we've set a new record here on the Amateur Hour, and we're delighted about it. Of course, on behalf of all 25 of our semifinalists, I'd like to express our gratitude for your interest and for your postal cards and your letters. We hope you'll continue to vote, of course, during this new series, and that you'll suggest to your friends and neighbors that they do the same thing too. It's important and it's very easy. In New York, you just call Judson 67000. We have 50 telephone operators on duty waiting to record your votes. Out along the network, you simply vote by a postal card or a letter to Box 191, Radio City Station in New York, in care of Geritol. We want to thank Silliman Evans Jr., the publisher of the Nashville Tennessean, for bringing this next vocal group to our attention. Like Pat Boone, who starred on our show, they all hail from Nashville. They call themselves the Martells. Pardon me, fellas, but will you identify yourselves?
Doug McDonald, I'm a clinical audiologist.
Lou Anderson, I'm an insurance inspector.
Luther Weathers, a theater manager. Bob Bowersock, school teacher.
Bowersock. You any relation to the Mr. Bowersock that runs the television station in
Yes,
Kansas
they're
City?
distant kin of ours.
Right. Well, your occupations are certainly wide apart. Do you think your harmony will be a little closer?
Yes, sir, we think so.
You think
We
so?
certainly
All
hope
right,
so.
let's square away. And here they are from Nashville, Tennessee, the Martells.
Old man Riverhead, that old man Riverhead, he don't say nothing. He must know something. He just keeps running and he keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters and he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them and they're soon forgotten. But old man Riverhead, he just keeps rolling along. Hey, you and me, man, we sweat and strain, our bodies all aching and cracked with pain. Now so that far to lift that bill, well, you get a little drunk, you're gonna land in jail. I gets weary and so sick of trying. Well, I'm tired of living, feared of dying, while that old man Riverhead, he just keeps rolling along.
The youngster who hails from Crown Point, New York, does acrobatics, Michael McNamara. Mike, you're a big fella, aren't you? Was your sister on our show?
She sure was, Mr. Matt.
She was. And what did she do?
She did acrobatics, too.
Uh-huh. Think you're better than she is?
Of course, she's a girl.
Come on, we're going to start a family feud here. You got a lot of paraphernalia all over there, hoops and everything else. You all set? Okay, cut loose. roller skate on his hands. I never saw that before. Well, we have a little unfinished business right now. On our last show in our regular series before our championship finals, I gave a young man the gong, and I heard it from all points of the compass, I'll tell you. He had a cold that night, and he was singing against his teacher's wishes. His voice cracked, and I had an idea that he could do better than that and promised to give him a second chance. So here he is. He's the young sportswear salesman from Weehawken, New Jersey, Martin Winter. How do you feel tonight, Martin?
Hi, Mr. Mack. I have no cold tonight, and I just want to sing and thank you for the opportunity you've given me for reappearing in this program again.
Yeah, somebody told me you had a little plot afoot here. Huh?
Well, I was going to steal your hammer there, so you wouldn't be able to ring the gong there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tonight I'll promise no matter what happens, I won't ring the gong. So you
Thank
just
you.
get in there and sing. You still going to do without a song?
Without a song again.
All right, here's Martin Winter.
Without a song, the day would never end. Without a song, the road would never bend. When things go wrong, a man ain't got a friend. Without a song, the field of corn would never see a flower. That field of corn would be deserted now. A man is born, but he's no good no how without a song. I've got my trouble and woe, but sure as I know that Jordan will roll, I'll get along as long as the song is strong in my soul. I'll never know what makes the rain to fall. I'll never know what makes the grass so tall. I only know ain't no love at all without a
Well, you might just as well have stolen the mallet. I would have no use for it during that song. That was Martin Winter singing Without a Song. The telephone number in New York, Judson 67000, or it's Box 191, Radio City Station here in New York. Just been given a bulletin from the Geritol telephone operators. The voting so far here in New York, the Charleston Dancers from Pelham, New York, 450 votes. The vocal quartet from Nashville, the Martells, have 203, and the little acrobat has rolled up 156 already, so that's the way it goes. Now, from Philadelphia, we have 5 young men, 3 high school students, and 2 college students. They call themselves the Imperials. Their application says, "We may not be the best rock and roll group you've had on the show, but we assure you we're the swingin'est." Okay, if you're all ready to start swinging, boys. Lloyd, is that a hit rock and roll record, Tequila? I tell you, those lyric writers are geniuses, aren't they? Right? Well, Well, here is a 20-year-old voice student from Graham, Texas. Her name is Darlene Tabor. Darlene, I see that you won a talent contest in Fort Worth and you turned down the prize money. Want to explain that?
Well, Mr. Mack, I didn't exactly turn it down. You see, they offered me a trip to New York City to audition for you or the prize money, so naturally I came here.
Well, you're a very enterprising young lady, and we're very glad you came here. What's your ambition?
Well, I'd like to sing on Broadway and on TV and maybe in the movies. Doesn't make any difference.
Well, you know what? I think maybe you better sing here first. You think so? What song have you chosen?
Lover.
Lover. All right, here she is, all the way from Graham, Texas, Darlene Tabor.
Lover, when I'm near you and I hear you speak my name, softly in my ear you breathe a flame. Lover, when we're dancing, keep on glancing in my eyes, till love's on entrancing music dies. All of my future is in you, my every plan you design. Promise you'll always continue to be mine. Lover, please be tender when your tender fears depart. Lover, I surrender to my
Tabor from Graham, Texas. The telephone number in New York is Judson 67000, or it's Box 191, Radio City Station, right here in New York, in care of Geritol. If you'd like to be a contestant on this program, if you're planning on a visit to New York, you alert our audition staff. You just drop us a note, Box 191, Radio City Station, and tell us when you plan upon being in town, and we'll see that you get an audition when you're here. And those of you, I know it's rather frustrating to you talented people around the country to feel that you're so far from New York. You write to us anyway. You write and tell us what you do, and we'll see that your name goes into an area file, whereby when we get into your part of the country, when our audition staff is out that way, we'll have a chance to look at you, and perhaps you will end up on the amateur hour too. Here's a Navy veteran from Camden, New Jersey. He's a welder by occupation now. He plays the spoons and the bones. His name is Paul Jones. And Paul, you've been here before, haven't you?
That's right, Mr. Mack, about 3 years ago. But that was before you had the orchestra. I sure would be glad to play with them.
Wanted to get a whack at the orchestra, huh? Well, as a matter of fact, if I can remember, the rhythm you put out on those spoons almost fit into an orchestra. You certainly gave out with a beat. What have you got, spoons or bones there today? Spoons to start with. All right, Lloyd, let's give this fellow a background. Well, of course, I'm just as anxious as you are to know the results of last week's big championship battle, but because the program is seen on a delayed basis in many cities, naturally it's only fair that the final count should be held off until these cities have had their chance to vote. So you please bear with us, and I promise you that the next week the new international amateur champion will be announced. Speaking of voting, We have a winning act that's been, well, as a matter of fashion, waiting in the wings for several weeks now, while all of us were concentrating on the championship finals. These young men are the winners of the show we did just before our semifinals. They're standing over there. They're from, what is their city? Gary, Indiana. And they're up here tonight trying for their second win, the Norb Mulder Clarinet Trio. We've had three young fellows playing classical music before. As I say, they're from Gary, Indiana, the Norb Mulder Clarinet Trio. Now, I'm going to have all of these contestants come back here so that you can have another look at them. Of course, those of you who are with us each week realize that we superimpose the name of the act under their picture as they come on here, so that'll help you make up your mind as to who you want to select as the winner. You in New York, you can do it very easily, as I've said before. You call Judson 67000, and our Geritol operators will be on duty for another half hour after we've gone off the air, so that you will have plenty of time to get your voting in, and also it makes it fair for all of the contestants involved. You folks, no matter where you are in the country or in the world, for a matter of fact, you can vote by letter or postal card. Simply address it to Box 191, Radio City Station, also in care of Geritol. Well, now here's the way the voting is going so far. We'll give you a look at these contestants as we go along. The Norb Mulder Clarinet Trio hasn't had a chance, but there they are, and they did a good job, so let's give them a good round of applause. The young welder from Camden, New Jersey, who played the bones and the spoons, has 180 votes. A charming young soprano all the way from Graham, Texas, 398 votes. The rock and roll group from Philadelphia played Tequila, 556 votes. Sportswear salesman, the tenor from Weehawken, the young man we gave the gong to before, didn't get it this week. He's already got 1,124 votes. Young acrobat from Crown Point has 902 votes. The vocal quartet from Nashville, Tennessee, 619. And the Charleston dancers, the kids from the high school flappers, 2,490 votes. Looks like they brought back a lot of memories. 2,490 votes for the flappers. Well, you know, for all that wonderful applause, I think it's pretty safe to say that our new series is off to a flying start. I hope you're going to add to all of this excitement either by telephone or by mail, because your vote is exactly what all of these talented performers are hoping for and praying for, I'm sure. There's one thing, if I have a moment or two, I'd like to take up with you folks who are so wonderful as to follow us around on these airwaves. We've been jumping back and forth for quite a long time, and many time slots and stations during these past few months. But as long as you're with us, you know where we are. I wonder if you just won't make sure that your friends know too, because it is support from all of you folks that make it possible for us to give young people like this an opportunity to be seen and be heard throughout the nation. All right, let them know where we are. We'll be back again next week. In the meantime, on behalf of the amateurs, our sponsors, the staff, and myself, thank you very, very much.
Transportation for guests on this program provided by TWA, Trans World Airlines. The original Amateur Hours produced by Louis Graham, directed by J. Robert Plum and Lloyd Marks. This is Dwight Weiss wishing you good health from Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, who brings you Geritol, Zeramin, Banarin, and other fine quality drug products.
Many, many people through the years appeared on Amateur Hour, including talent from right in West Tennessee. Our own Debbie Gooch, she appeared twice on the show, once as a solo act and once with a quartet of female singers from West Tennessee. And so she really is one who carried the banner for us before she became Miss Tennessee. It was an abrupt end to Amateur Hour in November of 1970. And it was, by that point in time, it had been for 10 years, a Sunday afternoon show, usually at 5:30 on CBS. And what happened is, by this point in time, CBS was making a bundle of money from double headers from the National Football League. So when September came along, Amateur Hour would disappear, and you would have 2 back-to-back games of the NFL on Sunday afternoon. Well, usually what would happen is by the time late December or early January came along, Amateur Hour was back on Sunday afternoons. But a network executive decided that in November 1970, without even the opportunity of a final episode, no ballyhoo, we're canceling the contract. You're laid off. Everybody is done. The Amateur Hour is over after nearly 23 years on the air. So there was a chance that it could come back because they attempted to sell it in syndication in the fall of 1971, but not enough general managers of local stations wanted to take it because they felt like it was something that was for its time and its time had passed. But rest in peace, Ted Mack, because you brought us so much great talent through the years. Well, we also are going to shift gears to a great West Tennessee legend, namely Wink Martindale. Wink, of course, growing up in Jackson, Tennessee, and he started his legendary broadcasting career at a small radio station in Jackson, and then went to Memphis and built his credibility there, and then took a chance and went out to Los Angeles and became a tremendous performer in local television, who eventually then became a game show host. One of the many that he did through the years was one called Can You Top This? It was based on a radio show that was done in the 1930s and 40s. And what it largely is comedians attempting to top each other, hence, can you top this? So when they decided to bring it to television, Maury Amsterdam from the Dick Van Dyke Show, he had gotten the rights to the show, and he became executive producer. And so what they wanted is a host who could keep things moving, but back out of the way and let the comedians have the floor. And Wink was perfect for the job. So tonight we're going to show you one of those episodes. The show only ran 1 year in television, but it has its funny moments. Wink Martindale, your host on Can You Top This?
Oh, Steve Beverly's TV classics. Steve Beverly's TV classics. Oh, yeah, yeah. Do-wop.
You're crying, you're crying. You must be from the South.
No, I'm a musician.
Can you top this?
next half-hour will break, and you top this. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. This is the show where you at home send us jokes, and we try to top your jokes. By we, I mean a panel of expert comedians, and you'll meet each one of them in just a moment. First, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who's very charming and who's very talented, and he will be playing for you, the home viewers, by telling the jokes that you've sent us. His name, Richard Dawson. You're visiting around. You look beautiful. How are you, Richard?
Just fine, Wink, thank you. And today we recall famous words of people.
Oh, good.
I ask you to remember the immortal last words of Galileo, who looked through his telescope and saw Sophia Loren and said, "Now that's what I call a star."
Here's a guy who's a sight for sore eyes, but for people with healthy eyes, nothing. Maury Amsterdam.
Hey! I understand you're forgetting the words of famous people today.
Absolutely.
Let's see, let us not forget the words of, Alexander Graham Bell. When he picked up the phone and he said, "What do you mean the line is busy? I didn't even invent the phone yet."
A lot of people call him a perfect idiot, but then nobody's perfect. Penny Youngman.
Nice to be here at the unveiling of Boulder Dam. And blow your mouth. Let us not forget the words of Luther Burbank, the famous horticulturist, who, when he crossed a potato and an onion, said, "At last I finally did it. A potato with eyes that really cry."
This next guest is an outstanding star. As a matter of fact, he's out there standing waiting for me to call him. Here he is, Jack Carter.
Thank you to lose my trick.
Who said to his tailor, "I'll my Bermuda shorts ready"? Let us not forget the immortal words of Delilah. When Samson asked her why she cut his hair, she said, "I hate hippies."
And that's where it all began, and this is where it'll continue.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, Wink.
That's how it works. They come in and tell stories like that, and they get applause.
Well, out of business.
Our home viewer gets $25 for having a joke told by Richard Dawson. His score is recorded on our computer, and then our panel of stars, as I said, will try to top his score. $25 goes to the home viewer each time one of the stars fails to top it. If all the celebrities fail to top it, the home viewer gets $100 and a marvelous time saver, a supersized 18-pound washer with spiralator action for cleaner clothes and a matching super-fast dryer with a special no-press cycle for no-press garments. From Gibson, one of the white consolidated industries.
I'll take one.
Huh? We'll be back to start our very first round of Can You Top This in just a moment. All right, into round one. First category of our show today will be transportation. The story that came from Mr. Anthony Battistella of Syosset, New York. Transportation. Richard?
Want some music with that?
No, I don't inhale.
Oh. Inhale, I would like to see you inhale.
Yeah. What's your language?
What's that?
Well, I mean, I'm up here to tell a joke from a viewer.
Oh, I hope so.
Oh, go ahead. I'll drink. Two very drunk gentlemen hail a cab. I beg your pardon, Mr. Young.
That was funny. It's a one-liner.
It's all right. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing? Well, you're not going to get very far. Anyway, this is two very drunk gentlemen hail a cab in Los Angeles. Cab driver pulled up. That suddenly became the Marx Brothers. And the guy said, "Hey, cabby, I want you to take my friend and I to 76th Street." So there's no 76th Street in L.A., sir? He said, "Who said L.A.? We want to go to 76th Street in New York. Do you have a light?" I said, "Hey, what do you mean? If you want to go to New York, you'll go train or a bus or a plane. It's too expensive to hire a cab." He said, "Oh, yeah? What do you call expensive?" He said, "At least $2,000. He said, "Right. took out a whole big bundle of $100 bills, counted out $2,000, 2 extra ones. He said, there are $2,000, a couple of $100 sip in advance. Take us to 76th Street in New York. He opened the door and he said, all right, Pete, we're on our way. Get in. He says, no, you get in first. He said, oh, come on. You get in first. You know I get out at 64th Street.
All right, Richard, you got a free ride. You got an 84. And your old taxi cab helped you out a little bit. And let's go on with transportation as a category.
Transportation. Big thing with transportation. Google. Oh, transportation. Fella goes to get a new driver's license. And they always send a man along, to check your driving. This fellow was the worst. He ran into parked cars. He went crisscross over the yellow lines, up over the curb. Just dreadful. And the fellow says to him, I'm sorry. He says, you're going to have to try for a driver's license again next year. He said, but I got to have a driver's license. It's important in my work. He said, what do you do? He said, I'm a cab driver.
Like a little cell. Sounds like another story about New York City, right, Maury? 81. Doesn't beat an 84. Another $25 for Mr. Battistella of New York. Henny Youngman, transportation.
You're a young man. Sally will for you.
This yoke was given me by a fellow named Gene Cardos who's here with us today, celebrating the 20th payment on his refrigerator. And
Mention my butcher while you're up there. You always mention everybody.
what's his name?
Sam Butcher.
Sam Butcher. This was sent in by his wife, not by Sam.
He got a little place in New York. It's a combination hot shop and butcher shop. He got 3 meatballs hanging over the door.
You have your life to live over again. Don't do it. I want to do this joke today. I think.
Go ahead.
Anyway, this fellow... Oh, I struck oil here. My hair is waving goodbye. Anyway, my wife was driving the car. Let her drive alone. She put her arm out like that, went like that, and I went like that. I said, what does that mean? She said, I want to go left, and I want to go right. I changed my mind. I rubbed it out.
Another 81. Matches Maury Amsterdam, but doesn't top Mr. Dawson's 84 for Mr. Battistella. Jack Carter, how could you possibly top Henny Youngman?
Easy, let's go back to the meatballs again. All that dialogue just for I rubbed it out. I made a mistake. I sorry you for you.
Something wrong with me. I understand him.
I like the woman with the arm out of the car going like this, and the cop says, what are you doing? He says, I'm drying my nails. That ain't it. Women drivers really need a lot of help. They really do, and especially in California. Everything is bumper to bumper out here. You know there are 40 million cars in Los Angeles? If every car in this town were laid end to end, some jerk would pull out and try and pass them all. And the traffic is so jammed here. I know a couple got in the car to go on their honeymoon. By the time they got out of L.A., they had a son old enough to drive. But that isn't the joke. So I saw this desperate woman driver trying to park, and my heart went out to her. And I said, oh, I've got to help her. And I got in the gutter, and I said, that's it, in, whip it in, good. Now cut back, now back, good. Now pull it in, cut the wheel hard, beautiful. Now pull this way, back it up a little, good, you're in. She said, in, you idiot, I was trying to get out.
You topped it all, Jack. Good enough for an 89.
Oh, 89. It's really fine. I often wonder when I'm just
89 trombone.
1970. All right, Jack Carter and Henny Youngman. That was about, what, the first 5 minutes of their act. To see the rest of it, you got to go to Vegas and pay for it. One of our panelists topped your joke, Mr. Battistella of New York, so you get $75 from Can You Top This? And we'll be back in a moment with round 2 and a brand new category, so don't go away. Let's get back to our show in category number 2. Category. Oh, there's somebody at the door.
Somebody at the door.
Somebody is knocking on the door. Who is it? George Raft, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, sir?
George. You know everybody is. Henny Youngman. Very big thief.
What are you doing here?
This looks like an Italian restaurant.
I was just hanging around the bank when I saw you.
Yeah? I thought I'd never get out here.
What do you mean? Where were you?
Well, I was behind that door. They had me locked in.
Listen, we haven't even been in town. Where you been? I haven't seen you
I've been
for
in
weeks.
Italy. I was making a picture.
Italy?
Yeah.
What kind of picture?
Oh, an
What were you doing?
FBI story.
FBI?
What were you in it?
I played an FBI man.
What's FBI?
Foreign-born Italian.
We got one right
George Raft, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Georgie, thanks for coming in. Get him back in the
He still catches them coins.
George Raft, ladies and gentlemen.
I got my quarterback.
You look like a quarterback.
My quarterback. Kiss my rat.
Georgie, wash up.
All right, let's get on with it. Round two of Can You Top This?
Quickly, there, please.
Wait a
Categories
minute, Patton, you just showed up. What is it, sir?
I just said it was great to see Georgie again.
Oh, listen here. Now, I want to tell you one thing. Hey there, orgy girl.
This silence has been brought to you by Mr. Youngman.
Next category is called marriage. We just don't I thought we'd just stand and let them run down because they can't go on forever. Nobody except Henny. They just keeps coming up.
There's no denying they have me try.
Marriage is the category. Mrs. Ruth Gillett sent the story, and it's from Portland, Oregon, and it goes like this.
It's a lovely old married couple, but the guy was really a nasty old guy who always moaned no matter what nice thing his wife did. Every morning, she'd try to please him for breakfast. He loved eggs. She'd come in, give him some scrambled eggs. He'd take a spoon, fill it with jam, look at her across the table and go,
Oh, Willis, what's the matter?
say, you know, I wanted those eggs scrambled, didn't you? She said, didn't I scramble them? Next morning, come in, no matter whether if it was scrambled, he wanted them poached. If it was poached, scrambled. Day after day, this poor old darling was a nervous wreck. She said to her friend, what can I... She said, listen, take 2 eggs in, poach one, scramble the other. Walked in, came, she said,
Oh, good morning, Willis.
Chuck looked at the poached egg, looked at the scrambled egg. She gave him a little smile. Filled a spoon with jam, and he said, you clown, you poached the wrong one.
86. 86, and it had a notion of going to 100, didn't quite make it. Good sport.
Tell him he's through. He's a little too funny.
Love and marriage is the category. And Maury, we'll go to you for a story.
Love and marriage. Besides, you didn't like jelly.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow, that's a funny story. love and marriage. I was talking the other day about being at this wedding, and you know, you never know what kids are going to say. Really? Well, here's what happened. There's this little kid standing next to me, and it happened to be the bride's brother. And he behaved himself pretty well throughout the ceremony, and we're all standing there in the beautiful music, and suddenly it gets very quiet, and the minister keeps talking, and it's very, very quiet for a moment. And just as he starts to say, and now do you take this woman for your lawful wedded wife, there was a sudden silence, and from somewhere a telephone bell rang. The kid turned around to his father. He says, a reprieve from the governor.
Beautiful, boy. True life story on marriage. Good enough for a 79. Henny Youngman, marriage.
Oh, now you're talking my language.
Yeah?
Oh, God. 41 years married to the same woman.
Oh,
better if I failed.
My wife finds out, she'll kill me.
What wife are you on?
I moved to California because of 3 wonderful words. California community property.
He's not too normal, folks. Listen to this one. All right, 41 years, we went back to the same hotel in Chicago where we got married. Had the same suite of rooms. Only this time I went in the bathroom and cried.
78. Nobody's yet topped our home viewer. This is Gillett's joke. Here's Jack Carter to see.
Oh, I
if he
hope you
can
would
top
call it. What's the category? I like it better with
Marriage.
jam. Oh, I thought jam with spoon flinging. Oh, I love that story. Wangy, honey, wow. Can you see her every morning? This is a guy in court, in the divorce court. You never saw such a pitiful little poor soul in your life. He was standing there in shock, all beaten up, lumps, swellings all over. What is it, the judge said? What is it? This woman, she beats me all the time. Big woman with a pocketbook standing there. Don't listen to him, Judge. He's punch drunk, that's all. I tell you, she beats me, Judge. Not only that, takes all my money. I come home for dinner. There is none. I got to cook it. In the morning, I got to make the beds. I go to work. I come home. She gives me $1 a week to live on. Oh, what a life I've led. Judge says, divorce granted. Take this woman out of my sight. Sir, this is the most miserable case of henpeckery I have ever heard of. I'm going to give you alimony, sir, you poor soul of a man living this life with this woman. What else can I do for you? Anything else? Guy said, yes, Judge. Could you possibly give me back my maiden name?
You topped the home score by 1 point. He did it with an 87.
With a henpeckery.
With the henpeckery.
Henpeckery, I love you.
Only one of our panelists topped your joke, Mrs. Gillett of Portland, Oregon. Your story on marriage, and of course, Dickie Dawson, proving that marriage can get you into a jam. Gets you $75 on Can You Top This? And we'll be back in just a moment, I hope. After that, I don't know for sure. Let's get into another round before I fall out. We got Armed Forces as a category. Mr. Daniel Kerr sent this to us from Anaheim, California.
Of course.
Well, there's a bus leaving. Get under it. New guy on sentry duty. Main gate, very important. No one is to enter in a vehicle in it unless they have a special pass that's stuck to the windshield. Standing there, great big army car came up with a general in the back. Said, halt! Who goes there? So the chauffeur, there was a corporal, he said, this is General Wheeler. He said, I'm sorry, I can't let you through. You gotta have a little sticker on the windshield. General said, drive on. He said, hold it. If you honestly and truly, you can't come through. I have orders to shoot if you attempt to crash without a sticker. Said, I'm telling you, son, drive on. He walked up to the other window. He said, General, I'm new to this. Who do I shoot, you or the driver?
Mr. Kerr picked up an 85 for you. Richard, well told. Maury Amsterdam. Let's see if we can get this whole round in.
This sergeant is drilling a bunch of rookies, and they were the worst. They dropped their guns. They bumped into each other. One fellow's scratching his head. His hat falls off. Finally, in desperation, this drill sergeant looks at him. He says, fellas, at ease. And they looked at each other. Didn't know what he meant. He says, just take it easy. He said, I want to tell you a story. He said, when I was a little kid, he says, I had a bunch of little lead soldiers. All broken, miserable little lead, but I loved them. You know how kids are. I love those little lead soldiers. And one day, the kid next door to me got sick, and I loaned him my little lead soldiers, these miserable, to play with. And he fell in love with them, and he wouldn't give them back. And I cried. I wanted my little lead soldiers back. And my mother says, don't you worry, son. Someday you'll have those little broken, miserable soldiers back, those little lead soldiers. And gentlemen, today you are here.
78, Maury. 78. Henny Youngman, Armed Forces.
All righty. During the Israeli Six-Day War, 5 Arabs pounced on an Israeli soldier, and the Israeli soldier beat the devil out of him. The Arabs are running away, and the Israeli soldier shouts out, lucky my husband didn't catch you.
73, another 25 for Mr. Kerr. Jack Carter, Armed Forces.
I can't figure that one out yet. Lucky my husband didn't catch you?
Yes, there was a woman soldier.
Oh, a woman soldier. A Sabra.
Sabra to you.
Sabra to you.
Well, there's nothing going on, folks. I would like to say...
Oh, take your wooden soldiers and break them up.
All right, Jack, time's up.
Oh.
No, go ahead. Hurry.
Private drags into the commanding officer. Poor little private, little sad sack, and he's exhausted, and his uniform is dragging, and he's wiped out, skinny, tired, staggers before the commanding general, says, I want a transfer. What do you mean walking in here like that? I don't care. I gotta have a transfer. I can't take it anymore. He says, what do you mean? Where are you? He says, well, I was assigned to the WAC barracks. And WAC barracks, I've been there. General said, that's a terrible mistake. When did this happen? He said, about 4 months ago.
Mr. Jack, good enough for an 80 on our computer. Good try from all the panel, but nobody topped Mr. Daniel Kerr's joke of Anaheim. On armed forces, you get the $100 as well as the Gibson washer and dryer. Mr. Kerr, wash some clothes and get some money from Can You Top This? And we'll be back in just a moment with our final goodbye. We're out of time, and when you're out of time, you got to go. We say a fond farewell to our stars on the panel. First, Jack Carter, who told some excellent stories in his usual excellent style. And to Henny Youngman, who is always in the fine fettle. Good stories today, Henny. Very good. And, of course, to Maury Amsterdam, who's always our chief funny man on Can You Top This? The gentleman who told your jokes, you folks at home, Mr. Richard Dawson. Right in the eye. I'm Wink Martindale. We'll see you tomorrow on Can You Top This? Goodbye. Good night, David. Air transportation furnished by the people of American Airlines who want everyone to make themselves at home the American way. Transportation and promotional consideration provided by Hertz, where you don't just rent a car, you rent a company.
Oh, Steve Beverly's TV classics. Steve Beverly's TV classics. Oh, yeah. Doo-wop.
Wink Martindale was a personal friend. I'm proud to call him that. And we had the opportunity to, in the Union University studio back about 15 years ago, to bring him in when he was home for a weekend and let him do a live audience show, which we brought to you on the weekend of his passing here on TV Classics. And Wink did just a beautiful job of answering audience questions and talking about his storied career that was really an exclamation point by a show called Gambit on CBS in 1972 that ran for 5 years, and then his biggest hit of all time, namely the new Tic-Tac-Doe, which they eventually took the new off of it, Tic-Tac-Doe, in which Wink was part of that for 9 years. And just really a man who carried the banner of his hometown and did us all proud. And Can You Top This was not one of his big successes, but it was also another thing on the resume that led him to becoming one of the go-to MCs in television history. Well, you're a go-to audience for us right here on West Tennessee PBS, and I hope that if you miss an episode, go to westtnpbs.org, and you can catch any of our shows on demand. So until we're with you again next week, stay tuned next for the Lawrence Welk Show, followed by Wayne Gerald's. And this is Steve Beverly saying, remember the famous words of Chuck Tomlin, who said, "Why do ducks make such good detectives? Because they always quack the case." I knew the booths would be coming, and that's the end of that. Until next week, so long from the Sunshine State.
So long from the Sunshine State.
As Des O'Connor would say, remember this.
Anytime you're feeling lonely, anytime you're feeling blue, anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, That's the time I'll come back home to you. Here we go. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home. That's the time I'll come back home to you, to you. I'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.